Man, what a change in the last 30 minutes, huh?
Hello.
Logan sent me a text at 10:23. Am I gonna have to talk you off a ledge tonight?
I
No, you're not.
I
An
fully
hour ago, you
expected
might have had to.
I fully expected to come on here and have to talk literally every Illinois fan off of a ledge. I felt like that's where Twitter was. I feel
Yeah.
like that's all I saw was negativity about how bad this team is or was in this moment or this game, which I have plenty of things I can say, but honestly, like the way the game ended, I'm not sure we need to have those conversations. But judging by the chat, Blake's already heated. So you know what? Maybe we will. Go on, Craig. Get us started.
I wouldn't say heated. I am disappointed because when you look at the final score and you kind of remember how the game went, it was right there. Like, easily could have won this game. But you reverted back to last year or the last 2 years teams in the first half. There was no effort. There was stupid mistakes. Logan, your mom says hi. Uh, there was just a lot of
Hello, mother.
I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone and watching last year's team, and Coleman Hawkins was doing stupid shit and fouling a 3-point shooter as the first half buzzer goes off. And I mean, it was just it was frustrating looking at the final score and going back and thinking about things that happened along the course of the game. It's just frustrating to see because it was right there. I don't know if you're the same way.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The first half, especially the way the game started. No, Illinois was not playing well. They were doing a lot of things. I don't know that I would necessarily go as far as to say as they looked like Illinois teams of the past, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, I think they were trying to figure out. I think it was several guys that had never gone up against Zach Edey. How do we do this? There were several floaters in the lane that were just bad shots that looked like half of a shot, half of a pass attempt.
They looked terrified.
They
all 5 players on the court
just
looked scared.
Yeah, they looked scared. They looked like they didn't know how to handle a 7'4" National Player of the Year. And like that's just how the game started, and like it did not start well, but they showed signs of life in the first half. They showed signs of life again late in the second half. Like I'll say it, I don't think I could be happier after an Illinois loss than I am now. Like I'm in a better mood probably now than I could be at any point after a loss. Like and I know you and I were in different spots coming into this game. You know, your text was this before the game started was about being nervous, and I said I wasn't really expecting much. It wasn't I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting to win this game. I just didn't think I wasn't sure if Illinois was there. We know how good Purdue is. We know how good Edey is. I just didn't know if Illinois was going to be able to get to that level. So I didn't exactly come in with super high expectations. And as I told you, they were rather exceeded. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, I agree. I get the frustration. I get the disappointment as a 5-point game. Had a couple other things gone your way, or had this game maybe be 2 minutes longer. I think that's the other thing too. I think if this was a 42-minute long basketball game, I think it might have ended in Illinois' favor. Because that's the way the last 10 minutes or so were going. Unfortunately, a costly couple turnovers down the stretch, a ball getting taken out of Marcus Domask's hands, Coleman Hawkins on the travel. There were just some costly mistakes, and they hung around. They hung around, and honestly, like, I'm not upset.
Turn to the stats. Once again, Marcus Domask proves he's a high major caliber player. 26 points. He did miss quite a few shots tonight, which he didn't on Tuesday. 26 points, 8 of 17 from the floor, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Probably our best free throw shooter.
40 minutes.
Played all 40 minutes, yes.
Did not sit down.
3 rebounds and 5 assists. So, all around pretty good game for Marcus. He was negative in the – he was -5. Quincy Guerrier, another double-double, 18 points and 10 rebounds. Luke Goode with a good box score performance for the first time this year. I feel like 16 points from him, but he didn't really do a whole lot else. He did play 35 minutes. Quincy played 38 minutes. Coleman had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists in 36 minutes. The only other player that was all the double figures. The only 2 other players to score were Justin Harmon with 5. Ty Rodgers had 2. Justin had 5 rebounds, 2 assists as well. Ty didn't really do a whole lot else. And Ty Rodgers was -23 in plus minus. Yeah. I think that is the story of the game. And he played 13 minutes, and tonight it was 13 minutes too many. They came out, and Matt Painter coached it right. I mean, that's exactly what he needed to do. He put Edey on Ty Rodgers because he is not an offensive threat whatsoever. If Edey would have guarded Coleman, would have played 5 out, would have drew him away from the basket, and Illinois could have done the booty ball like they did in the second half to get the comeback. It took Brad way too long to get Ty and Dane out of the game. I would have liked to seen Hansberry. At least, like, Hansberry could have been the Dane of this because he can hit a 3. He's hit 2 this season, so there's at least that threat. Ty and Dane are not an offensive threat outside of the paint, so you can just put Edey on him, know they're not going to shoot, and he can just stay in the paint and block anything that came in there. So I think that's the story, is that Ty just did absolutely nothing and allowed Edey to control the paint and keep Purdue in the game.
And I mean, it's not really Ty Rodgers' fault. I mean, he really did nothing wrong. He's just not a capable enough offensive player to justify anything different. So, it's just one of those games where, I'm not worried about Ty Rodgers' future or anything, but I can imagine that there will be other times this season where teams figure this out too. So that's something that they're going to have to figure out, because all the praise we've given Ty Rodgers the past few weeks about his development as the lead guard, as a facilitator, as a driving pass guy, driving dish guy. Tonight we really saw the negatives of the Ty Rodgers experience, and not everybody's going to have a Zach Edey, but I'm going to guess that there will be other coaches that figure out how to do this too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a problem at various points down the road.
It's always interesting to see when a team does something like this, if other teams continue to pick up on it, or if they do, and when they do, if Brad's able to find a way around it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I would think it's just like a little blip, because there's not another 7'4", 300-pound, 320-pound guy in the Big Ten. So
yeah,
shouldn't be a concern moving forward. But it was a major benefit, or major issue tonight for Purdue. Kaufman Wren, I don't even know his first name. Trey Kaufman Wren.
Trey, yeah,
career night. Always happens. 23 points for him, 4 rebounds, 27 minutes from a no-name nobody. Lance Jones had 17, former Saluki, 4 of 11 from the field. Braden Smith had 14. Zach Edey with a very mediocre average, 10 points tonight and 15 rebounds. Illinois did get him in foul trouble. He did have 4 fouls on the night, 2 in the first half. He didn't play the final 8 minutes of the first half because of that. But he had 10 and 15 tonight. He was, I think Brandt asked what his plus minus was as well. He was plus 14 on the night. Fletcher Lawyer was plus 12 for Purdue. He had 5 points for the Boilermakers. I mentioned it in my first little take here to start the show. The issue was the effort and the rebounding, and Illinois got just demolished on the boards. 43-28 on the rebounding. And after Tuesday's game against Northwestern, I said it on here on our post game, the reason I thought Illinois could win this game was because they're a very good rebounding team. as long as you can contain Edey. I mean, he's 7'4". He's going to reach up. He can just reach up and grab any rebound he wants. But I thought Illinois could compete because they own the glass. Every game this season, they've owned the glass, and they absolutely did not tonight. They were scared to go for rebounds, especially when Edey was in there. And, I mean, that's what lost them the game. They got out-rebounded by 15. There was a much bigger disparity in the second chance points before Illinois made that run. It ended up being 21 second chance points for Purdue and 18 for Illinois. At one point, it was like 18 for Purdue and 5 for Illinois. So they did make up some ground there, but 21 second chance points for Purdue is what won them the game, and their rebounding.
Have you looked at the field goal numbers?
The field goal numbers? What about them?
Just how eerily similar both teams shot the ball tonight.
Illinois was 26 of 61. Purdue was 27 of 60. Illinois was 8 of 19 from 3. Purdue was 9 of 19 from 3.
Yeah.
Illinois was 18 of 21 from the free throw line. Purdue was 20 of 25 from the free
throw line. The difference was the rebounds. I mean, that's literally the difference. It was absolutely the difference. Each team shot the same in terms of percentage, in terms of number of shots made, number of shots taken. It was that rebounding differential of 43 to 28. That was the big kicker. That was the effort. I agree. And I know that was definitely the case early on, but I don't think that was the case the whole game. I think they, obviously they turned some things around. It was a 5-point game. Illinois was down 21 points in this game.
I just looked at that. The largest lead was.
This was a 3-point game, 2-point game at the very end until whatever.
It was 66-45 with 12:47 left.
We can knock all we want and say that Illinois could have won this game, and I would not disagree. But I don't know. I don't think you can take a lot of negatives away from this, honestly. I really don't. I mean, I think
my only negative is the effort. I just felt like the effort wasn't there until about 5 minutes into the first half.
The first 4 minutes were abysmal.
Yeah,
the first 4 minutes were awful until that timeout. I think Edey came out for a little bit around there, and Illinois kind of went on a little bit of a run.
Yep.
And then he got in foul trouble, and they had the chance to go on more of a run, and they didn't. I mean, it really was a game of runs. I mean, it was Purdue, and then it was Illinois, and then back to Purdue, and Purdue to start the second half, and then back to Illinois. And it's just the effort. I agree. The effort, especially to start the game, was not great, and that's ultimately what hurt you, I think, was the rebounding numbers. I think that was the biggest difference.
Okay. I'm sending out a tweet real quick, and then I'm going to read some of the chats.
Live on the show? Live on the air? You're going to read the tweet to us? Or?
I was just tweeting about ties, minus 23, plus minus.
Thank you.
Okay, so we read that. Coach on. Someone in the chat said it.
Monty Hansberry had back spasms before the game.
Okay.
Tonight.
Tim Lee, I'm a Coleman supporter, but he had 2 big plays that hurt: the foul right before the half and the travel at the end.
Oh yeah.
Also, one in my group chat that I forgot about. He hit a 3 early in the first half that it was half second
after the shot clock.
Yeah, after the shot clock. So that was another. I mean, that's not on him,
right?
But if that goes Illinois' way, that's. There were also a couple missed out of bounds calls that he very well got over. He was overly dramatic about, but they were the wrong calls. So yeah, a lot bounced Purdue's way tonight, and
except the flagrant at the end. That did terrible. That did not bounce Purdue's way.
He was boxing out. I mean, it looked rough, but he was just boxing out.
That one.
I don't know what else.
It took him 10 minutes to figure that out, and I don't know how they came to that conclusion. I really don't. Yeah. I mean, I was fine with it, obviously, but I don't think that one bounced their way. But yeah, a lot of other things did. Not necessarily like calls. I don't think they were necessarily calls that went their way, but just the way things played out. I think.
We haven't heard from our buddy South Bend Hawkeye in a little while.
South Bend Hawkeye, what's up?
Illinois owes me $150 for my FanDuel bets. I lost. Illinois just effing Iowa fans, even when we're not playing each other. Hey, that's what we do.
It's what we do best.
That's what we do. I did watch some of your women's team tonight playing Rutgers, and they're fun to watch. I will give you that. Caitlin Clark is probably the most entertaining watching all of college basketball. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I liked your tweet. This isn't the same thing, but Edie is a big person from On the Mark. Edie's a big person, made Coleman look like a little baby man. I liked your tweet because I've always thought it about the numbers on Edie's jersey.
It's crazy.
They look so small.
I mean, the way their jerseys are designed, especially without having names on the back, they're small numerals anyway. Yeah. But just on Zach Edey, it just always looked so tiny on his back and even on his chest. Like it looks so funny to me. It always has.
Do you see?
I mean, Edey's. Yeah, I mean, he's 7'4". I mean, I don't think we need to get into the is he big or is he good thing, but there's nobody out there that's going to stop him. That was one of the little debates I was getting into on Twitter was regarding him and how does Brad not go out and recruit a 7-footer to Kofi Coburn's not walking back through the door. I don't know. Whatever. It's Zach Edey. He's a 2-time National Player of the Year for a reason, or going to be.
Illinois was number 8 in KenPom going into tonight. Any guess on where they moved to after the loss tonight?
9.
Up to 7.
Did they move up?
Yeah. Kai Cresswell, love Brad playing DGL in the first, as well in the first. His play was a shot in the arm we needed. Yeah, he's he helped, and I was I hate this phrase, interested to see, or it's going to be interesting to see. I hate saying that, but I was curious as to how he would play a role tonight because I think most Illini fans know he was committed to Purdue, and he's from Lafayette, so I figured he would definitely be jacked up to play, which could be a concern for a freshman because you don't know how they're going to play in that environment when they've gone through that. But I don't think he contributed much to the box score. He missed 1 shot, 1 assist. He did have 4 fouls, so he made use of him on the foul line in 9 minutes. So he didn't do a whole lot, but it was good to get him minutes. I think he's going to be a good point guard. So I would like to see more and more minutes go his way. I just don't know where they come from. And I know a lot opened up with Terrence being suspended, but I like his 9 to 12 minute pace right now. Yeah,
no, I agree. He got at least 1 foul called on Edey. Again, the foul situation really didn't even impact much with him. I guess he had the 4 fouls towards the end. I guess that's probably why Matt wasn't playing him down the stretch. But yeah, no, it's nice to see. I like to see him out there. I think obviously that had something to do with the tie thing too. Probably why he was getting a little bit more minutes. But yeah, he's going to be an offensive spark. Got to work on the defense. He can grow a little bit. He's still pretty small. But I like having him out there. He definitely provides a spark.
Yeah. Blake says, I think Illinois was unprepared for guys like Kaufman, Wren, Jones, and Gillis. Those guys combined for around 50. If that happens, you lose to Purdue every time. It's one of those, you pick your poison type of things. You try and shut down Edey, which they kind of did for the most part, but he was in foul trouble, 10 and 15. And you give those guys their opportunities. If you would have told me pregame that Kaufman Wren was going to go for 24, I would have been okay.
Would finish with 10.
10, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would have been like, okay, I'll take that trade off. I don't think Kaufman Wren can go for 24. So it's just the bad luck that happens to Illinois a lot. But you just kind of have to pick your poison.
Illinois run into this too in the past. I mean, teams prepare for
all the time.
Terrence Shannon, or teams prepare for a Kofi Coburn or whatever, and you have other guys that step up and beat you. So it's not just like a Illinois happens to run. This happens all the time against anybody. But yeah, it's one of those things. Do you everybody says let somebody else beat you. Don't let Zach Edey beat you. Let somebody else beat you, and they did. They have enough weapons, just like Illinois does. Purdue has a lot of guys. There's a reason they're the number 1 team in the country, and it's not just because of Zach Edey. This is a good basketball team. So they got a lot of weapons. They can do a lot of things. And Illinois went on the road and only lost by 5 points. So
yeah, I know. It's like
I just want to reiterate that. Like,
yeah,
it was anybody out there that's feeling like this game was poorly played and like frustrated or like whatever, Illinois should have won this game. They played terrible. Just stop. Just stop. Like, sorry. I don't want to get
go,
but no,
get our ratings up here.
Literally, you go
off.
You went into West Lafayette at the first top 10 matchup there since Robbie Hummel and his baggy shorts were there. Like,
how good is Hummel?
You nearly beat this team. This is the number 1 team in the country. Like, just Illinois is fine. Illinois is going to be just fine. They are clearly one of the 2 or 3 best teams in this conference. So.
And this is
Illinois will be fine.
This is without an All-American.
Exactly.
Do they win this game with Terrence
Without
Shannon?
Terrence Shannon, this team is now 2-1 with 2 30-point wins and a 5-point loss in West Lafayette.
Illinois is 11-3. Who are their 3 losses?
The number 1 team in the country.
Bingo.
According to KenPom, that's what I'm looking at right now. The number 8 team in the country.
Yep.
And according to KenPom, the number 12 team in the country.
And I think Marquette's 12, and I think they're top 10 in the AP poll. So they're all top 10 teams, 2 of them on the road. So we're fine.
Now, you can't go out and lay an egg at home against Michigan State.
No.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
Yeah.
But what happens tonight is fine.
What is your sweatshirt? Is it Illinois basketball sweatshirt?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I've never seen it before. Never seen that.
It's new. It's new.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
It was a Christmas gift.
All right. We'll answer Michael's question. Who's your everyday guy?
Well, I don't want to take the easy answer anymore. The easy answer always used to be Terrence Shannon, but now the easy answer is Marcus Domask. So, like, what is not the easy answer? I mean, I still like what Quincy Guerrier is doing. Like, I don't know if that's a cop out answer. Like,
no, that's who I was going to go with.
Another double, 18 points. Took a really hard fall. Glad he got up, made the free throw. At least, did he make both free throws after that? Or
he
just
did.
One? I don't know.
I think he did.
Yeah, I mean, and I like Luke Goode too. I mean, Luke was that a career high for Luke? 16 points.
It might be. It very well might be.
I could go multiple directions. The answer is just not Ty Rodgers. Like, I could be fine with any answer but Ty Rodgers.
Yeah. I would even throw Coleman in there a little bit. I know he had some. Yeah. He had some turnovers and made some bad decisions, and he bitched about every call. But I still think he's just so important to this team.
There are comments made in my house about how animated I get during games. And I looked over at Allison and I said, watch Coleman Hawkins play basketball. If you think I'm animated, watch him. Like, he gets so into every call that doesn't go his way.
Yeah, I have been, I don't know if it's because I'm used to watching by myself. I don't know, but I've been pretty reserved watching games lately, mainly I guess because I don't have an audience. I just kind of sit, and I watched in here tonight. Normally I watch in the living room, but I just kind of sit and watch. So I don't know. I kind of
go back and forth
for me.
It depends on the game.
Okay. There's no name here. I can't see a name, but good game, gentlemen. Boiler fan here. I mean, you guys got a great team as well. Obviously, number 1 team in the country. So it was a fun final 10 minutes. The first 30 were not particularly fun for us, but made it a game. We'll see you again. What, March 5th, March something?
Like the second to last game of the season.
Yeah. On Peacock.
Yeah, on Peacock. That'll be fun.
On the mark. Here, this is one of the first losses I actually feel more confident after. That probably changes if we come out flat against Michigan State and lose. Exactly what Logan just said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like, I feel I'm in a good mood after a loss. Like, that's just not stuff that you would normally say. But all things considered, like, yeah, I'm with you. But yes, you have to be the better team on Thursday night. I think it's Thursday night. Michigan State's good. I mean,
they're playing really good right now.
They're playing good. They're not Purdue good. I think they're certainly in that mix of Illinois, Wisconsin, maybe Ohio State as the next tier of teams in the Big Ten. But if you continue to play like you have, even for part of this game, I think you can easily win that game.
Yeah.
So, but it's Izzo. You just never know.
Let me look at it real quick. After tonight, and I don't know how quickly these update or if they update at all. KenPom has it as a 6-point Illinois win as of now.
KenPom has Illinois projected to finish the season 24-7.
Yeah.
And
15-5 look at the Big Ten. I mean, the Big Ten's not great.
Big Ten stinks.
I mean, you got Michigan State is top 20 in KenPom. Ohio State's 29.
Conference is not good.
No one else. Wisconsin is 13. No, I mean, there's 4 teams in the top 30 of KenPom. So, I mean, 24-7 isn't out of the question, which is insane. We got a new viewer, new listener here, Jiminy Christmas. First time watching you guys. You guys are great. Well, thanks, Jiminy. Thanks for hopping in if you're still here. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's over here.
Bobo watching on X. Guy on Field of 68 podcast just said he walks away from this game thinking Illinois are a fringe tournament team. I'm assuming you're probably talking about Terrence Oglesby, and we were just talking about him before. I'm not a big fan of T.O., so I'm assuming he's.
I'm sorry. You're saying somebody said that Illinois is a fringe tournament team?
This is what Bobo is saying. We'll have to go back and watch.
Is it Andy Katz?
That bitch. Oh, he blocked me.
I'm not watching the Field of 68. Now I guess I'll have to go back and rewatch their After Dark thing.
No. He commented. It was Hansborough.
I'm pretty sure I watched a Hansborough thing earlier this season, not long ago, where he might have said Illinois was a Final Four team.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this because there's no way you can say they're a fringe tournament team. They just lost the number 1 team in the country by 5 at their home court. There's no way.
That's just a bad take.
Kai says, "Say it louder, Logan. The way we played Purdue should have easily covered the spread, but we fought all the way back and gave ourselves a chance." Speaking of the spread, I don't bet Illinois. I think I said this after last show. I do not bet Illinois because there's too much invested in it. But I do tonight when they got down early. I looked at the live line. The live line got all the way up to 21.5. And I looked at it and I was like, there is no way Illinois loses this game by 20. Like, I genuinely, it crossed my mind to throw multiple $100s on that live line. And I didn't, so should have.
Yeah. No, this is right. Yeah, they retweeted it too. The Field of 68 did. And the quote, "I walk away from this game thinking that Illinois is a fringe tournament team," from Tyler Hansborough.
Okay. Pause our coverage here. I'm going to Twitter.
What? I mean, because it's still live, like you can't just like watch it. So, but that's the quote that they're putting on there, whoever's doing it, Trevor, whoever, but yeah. It's all for those Illinois reactions, all about that fan base though. Hansborough's an idiot. Okay, we don't need to worry about it. Are you going to tweet about it?
Yeah,
here it is. Craig's tweeting. This is live and in person. Craig is.
I used to be a Hansborough fan, man.
Keyboard warrior, Craig Choate.
Dude, I wasn't going to say this, but my burners have been on fire the last couple of days. I've been putting them out, man.
How many of those you got?
I'm not going to say.
That's funny. That's
okay. Funny. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Okay.
Oh, Andy Katz. You want to talk about Andy Katz?
You told me to give it up.
Pardon my.
What? What?
tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're having too much fun.
Now watch.
After a loss.
Now watch. We won't make the tournament, and he'll be right. On the market
I
again,
mean,
Coleman Hawkins
if
has
Illinois doesn't make the tournament, like, fine, fair, but it's not. It has nothing to do with the performance out there against Purdue tonight.
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense.
For Illinois not to make the tournament. Terrence Shannon would need to miss the entire season, which as of now, there's no reason to say he's not going to.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen. And Coleman would need to, he would need to hurt his knee again, or Domask would be injured or something. But Illinois is going to make the tournament. On the market again, Coleman Hawkins has strong Joakim Noah vibes. Demonstrative, and you like him if he's on your team, hate him if he's not. That's a good comp.
I like that comp.
That's a really good comp. Yeah. But I mean, Coleman can shoot. Noah could didn't. I don't think Joakim would step out and hit threes. I don't think.
No. I like that comp though. That's good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, Mark.
Yeah.
Brandon Lampy says Big Ten's really bad. 4-bid league. Mountain West will have more bids than the Big Ten.
I think they'll get more than 4, but it won't be many. I mean, I think they'll find a way to get at least a 5th team in, but yeah, it's a bad league. It is not a strong league. But like honestly, if you look at KenPom, which I know there's plenty of analytics out there and you can choose your poison, but like the Big 12 obviously is going to have several teams, but the way the conferences have shifted around so much, like you just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, the Big 10 is not particularly strong.
Let's look at
Oh boy. What else we got?
Were you just talking about KenPom?
Yeah.
Conference rankings? Is that what you were talking about?
Well, no, I was just talking about just in general.
Big Ten or KenPom also breaks down ratings by conference. Big Ten's number 4 right now.
Yeah.
Behind the Big 12, SEC, and Big East.
Which I think is that's right. And
then there's Big Ten and Big East are really close. So is this SEC. Big 12's head and shoulders pretty far ahead by rating numbers here. But SEC, Big East, and Big Ten are pretty close. And then there's a pretty big gap before you get to the ACC and the Pac-12.
I remember last year when I was doing the bracketology stuff, Kansas's quad 1 win total was just like head and shoulders above everybody else. But it's because they just played so many more quad 1 games. The Big Ten, like if you look at Illinois' schedule the rest of the way from that perspective, I know, and this stuff changes all the time, but since we're talking about it, I'll bring it up here. So this was a quad 1 game, but it was obviously a loss. The rest of the schedule, as of right now, quad 1 wins, quad 1 opportunities. Thursday at home against Michigan State. And then at Ohio State at the end of January. Home again or at Michigan State in February. And then the last 3 currently, Wisconsin, Purdue, and Iowa's technically. But those will change. I don't know if that Iowa one will stay a quad 1 win. But yeah, it's just the Big 12 is just leaps and bounds better.
I was looking at bracketologist.com a couple days ago, and it seems like Rutgers is a team that Illinois wants and needs to win because they're right on the quad 2, quad 3 for that road win. Yeah. They need them to get in the top 75 for it to be a quad 2. And there was another team that is right on the cusp that Illinois needs to win a couple more games to get inside to make it a better quad win.
I think at one point I was looking at, I think Michigan was
Michigan's bad.
Michigan's on a cusp too of a quad 2-3.
Okay.
So that's another one. But
okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about at this point.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say we used to have
Tyler Hansborough derailed us the whole entire conversation.
Yeah. We used to have a rundown that we went by, and we've kind of gotten away from that.
Yeah, we got away from that. Yeah.
I mean, we did the everyday guy. We used to do a good and a bad. We've kind of already talked about all of that. So we've been on here for almost 40 minutes, so we'll just give the chat their final warning, last call. If there's any questions, anything else you want to say or get at us, throw it in the chat, and we'll try and get to it.
I will ask you a question.
Okay.
I don't know how it will play into the rest of the season. I can tell you at least one time it'll happen again, but I'm sure there will be more. When this Ty Rogers situation happens again,
yeah,
what do you do?
Well, I don't think it will. I don't think it'll be to the effect.
I mean, it'll at least happen one more time.
Well, yeah.
You play Purdue one more time.
Yeah. Ideally,
surely somebody will see this and be like, even if it's not a Zach Edey type player, surely somebody. I don't know. I just
can't think of anyone else. I can't think of anyone else that would guard Ty that he couldn't take.
Yeah. No, you're probably right.
Because if it's, I'm trying to think who else. I mean, Michigan State has a 6'10", 7-footer. I mean, I trust that Ty could do something against him in the post.
Yeah.
But 7'4" is just a different animal. That extra 4 inches means a lot.
Yeah.
According to Brad Underwood, and the best soundbite he's ever given in a pregame
forgot interview. About that one. This is just another reason as to why you have 12 scholarships. You have multiple guys that can, like the Dane situation. Like a lot of the times anymore, I'm not sure Dane has shown that he needs to be out there, but there are times where it's helpful to have Dane that can do that. You have multiple guys for a reason. Some coaches will play 8 or 9 deep, but you'll have times where somebody like an Amani Hansberry could be helpful. Somebody like in the past, like a BBV can be helpful. Somebody in the past, like that happens all the time. So yeah, I agree. You're probably right. I don't think we'll see it very often, if ever again, other than ZD or Edey for sure. But I don't know. It is a little concerning because he has been such an integral part of this team, and he's played really well the past few weeks. And then tonight he was absolutely unplayable for no fault of his own. Yeah. So I don't know. That's it.
I think ideally by the next time this comes around, and this is not me throwing anything I've heard around, this is not me speculating anything, but ideally you get 2 players back on this team that are currently not on this team that have some offensive skill sets that you can afford to limit Ty Rogers minutes. I think you probably, I'm not going to say the names, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, if this team is fully healthy and able to play come March 5th when Purdue comes to Champaign, I think Illinois will be in a better position to win that game. So, all things considered, I am pleased with the outcome of tonight's game.
Yeah.
Do I wish it would have gone a little differently? Yes, absolutely. But I wasn't expecting to come out with a win, and we came damn close. So onward and upward. Just do not come out flat and lay an egg against Michigan State. For the love of God, don't do that on Thursday.
We were, before we get to that, we were talking about Big Ten teams, and I forgot I looked up bracketology. Right now, Joe Lenardi has 7 Big Ten teams in the field. Nebraska is included in his last 4 in. Northwestern is included in his last 4 in.
Yeah.
So it would be Purdue, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Ohio State, Northwestern, and Nebraska. So those would be the 7. And no, he doesn't have any Big Ten on the first 4 or the next 4 out. So that's kind of who's in it right now. But next up, we've touched on it a couple of times. Michigan State, Thursday night, I believe. Thursday night, another 9 o'clock Eastern tip. Son of a bitch. And I love the 8:30 tip times that tip off at 8:46. Like, when are we going to learn that college basketball games are not 2 hours? Stop doing them in 2 hour windows.
At least it's
9
a
o'clock
Friday
tip
night.
on yeah, it's true. 9 o'clock tip on FS1, another FS1 game for Michigan State. ESPN Analytics has a 73% chance Illinois wins, but that's probably factoring in Terrence Shannon, which there has been no update on Terrence. So I do know his court date is the 18th. So I don't know that we'll have anything before then. So I would expect Illinois to be without him until unless anything changes. But this team's good without him. We've seen it. They're 2-1. They throttled a Big Ten team, and they put up a really good fight against the best team in the Big Ten in their place. So I wouldn't be too concerned as of now. It did get to a point where I think it was like it was 20-point game, and I went through the last 10 games at Mackey Arena to look at like shooting stats.
Yeah.
First of all, Illinois is getting outscored 742 to 653 in the last 10 meetings at Mackey. They've won one of those.
That's 10 points a game.
That's 10-point difference a game. They won in 2020 by 17. Blew them out. They're shooting
tough place to play.
31% from three. Let me add tonight's numbers in there.
This is great content.
I know. Sorry.
It's fine.
Working on it.
I love it. I love it.
Working on it.
We're sending out tweets. We're doing math. We're updating spreadsheets.
We're not just a podcast, you know?
This is what we do best. This is why the people are here, damn it.
32%.
While we're here, don't forget, everybody, like and subscribe, share the show. Let us.
Yeah, we didn't really get to that, did we?
No, we kind of just skipped over that. I'm really bad at skipping over that. You're usually good at it, and you skipped it today.
I think you might notice a...
I do. Devin Kidd, welcome to the pod. Happy to have you.
You caught us at the end. We're almost done here.
Yeah. You should have jumped on earlier. We could have talked about, I don't know, whatever fireworks show you were sending me videos of. We didn't talk about the Lance Jones, Marcus Domask thing.
Yeah.
Nice little SIU reunion. Only would have been if only Connor Onion was on the call.
I almost texted you before the Illinois game because he did the UConn Butler game.
Correct.
That dude is living the life, man.
I know.
He's blown. Like 2 years ago, I was watching him do SIU games on ESPN Plus.
Yep.
And now he's on FS1 sitting next to it wasn't Bardo, was it? No.
I don't remember who he was doing the game with, but
it was Hummel.
It wasn't Bardo.
It was Hummel.
Well, yeah, he was Hummel
Tuesday night.
Yeah. Big Ten Network, yeah.
The kid's blowing up. We need to get him back on here. I almost texted
we will.
you Tuesday.
We'll get him on.
I almost texted you Tuesday before the post game, and because we almost didn't do our post game Tuesday, I almost texted you, said the only way I'm doing post game is if Onion gets Hummel to come on with us.
Make it work.
But yeah, Connor Onion called the game Illinois game Tuesday, called the UConn Butler game tonight. SIU guy, we've had him on the pod before, but Dwayne made a good point here. Painter also ex-Saluki, so a lot of Salukis in the arena tonight. So it's always fun to see.
Go Dogs.
On the mark again. We need a full breakdown of Craig versus Andy Katz and a cryptic clue on one of his burners. No. I mean, I can give you the Andy Katz breakdown. I mean, the dude put Illinois 6th in his Big Ten power rankings behind Northwestern. And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together until I texted Logan a couple hours later that the same day or the night before he put out his power 32 rankings and he had Illinois like 17 or 18 and he had Northwestern like 29 on his power rankings of the country, but he had them below. Like it just doesn't make sense. The dude's a clickbait troll that doesn't know anything about sports. He's just out here talking BS.
And
I used to like him on ESPN.
From Twitter.
He has blocked me, but burners. Him and John Heyman. You know John Heyman blocked me too, right?
Yeah, I don't remember why that was a thing, but
I made fun of his arson judge tweet.
Oh yeah, everybody did. Don't feel special there.
Hansbrough is high. What a joke that dude is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'll have to go back and watch the whole Hansbrough thing. That's just nuts to even.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and rewatch that. But story of tonight: Illinois loses 83-78. Put up a fight, being down 21, come back, get it within 3. I think it was the closest they got. Did they ever have a shot to tie it? Did they ever have the ball with a shot to tie it? I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But made it a game.
They had those 2 turnovers down the stretch that ultimately.
So something to build on. Back at home Thursday against Michigan State at 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central. Anything else, Logan?
Nah. I'm just happy to be here. No, I mean, It was.
Sure.
I'm pleased with the outcome. Just please, for the love of God, do not lay an egg on Thursday. That's it.
That's it. Don't do All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you likely next Thursday for another postgame show. Bye.